Alright, given my battery life, I believe this will be the last segment I do now. Maybe in the next day or two I can do a conjugates and commutators on the canal to explain that big missing piece which frustrated me for weeks, and now I'm frustrating any of you watching because I'm not actually explaining it. But let me tell you where I ended up with this. So I did learn some laws of the cube of how if you do a move or a set of moves and then do another set of moves, then undo that first set of moves and undo the other set of moves, the cube will be back except for some pieces that intersected. So it's a matter of, it makes sense if I move this, if I do this move, and then I rotate this move and this move, I just reverse what I did, the cube's back in order. So it's the same idea, but you move one, it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 moves, then you do another move, and then you reverse everything. And so then, a piece or some pieces have been changed, some pieces have changed, however, everything else is back. So so to do that, you can create them, and that's the goal, was to be able to create different moves for different situations. As I mentioned, I finally figured out how to do this after a lot of work. However, sometimes the moves would be complex, so I would do a few moves, then I have to write them down so I'd remember what to do to reverse them, because I had a lot of frustration. But at any rate, at one point I also came across some methods for doing two things, and once I learned those, even if they're less efficient, it's just a lot easier sometimes, let's just face it. So I've got a number of options, but much like earlier in the stage, and now I'm going on and on rambling, much like earlier in the stage, I knew methods of building the cube, because I knew, if I want to get this, the yellow blue piece here, I'm going to move this down, move it around. It's really the same idea of just a set moves that I just do without hardly thinking. So the moves that I know how to do, and the internet is full of these moves, is to be able to rotate 3 cubes. So if these corner cubes are not in the right spot, being able to move them, there's a series of moves that will do that. And so I'm able to use that. When I look at this, I know how to move 3. So even though I've got some on different faces, and I might have another one that's unsolved, I can look and I can figure which 3 do I want to move, where do I want to move them to? If I want to move, for example, this one, and this one, and they're not on the same face, I can make them on the same face, do my magic to rotate them, and rotate it back. Okay, so again, I know I'm saying a lot, but it's going to be unsatisfying otherwise. The other piece is how to rotate a piece. So what we have here is, this is not in the right spot. This is not in the right spot. This is in the right spot, however, it needs to be rotated. It's not oriented correctly. The green needs to be here, yellow here, orange here. But it's in the right spot, and this one here is not in the right spot. So this is actually a good example where these 3 I want to move, and I do know a move. So first of all, using my theory of conjugates and commutators, I am going to move this here because I know how to rotate 3 when they're on the same face. And here they were not on the same face, so I'm going to rotate them in the same face. I am going to do my moves. I'll write them in the comments or something. Take a quick look and see. I moved everything back. I still have these unsolved pieces, however, that's right. So I'm going to do it one more time to rotate it one more. And back, and now what I've left with is, okay, I got some of these right, so now I only have 2 left, because I finally rotated those into the right spot, so I now only have 2, and in this case here, they're in the right position, so I don't need to move them, I just need to flip them. Got it? Alright, so I know another set of moves that does this, and it can take a long time to do it, but again, I could build the solution or just remember the sequence of events. It might be inefficient. So I am going to now solve the cube just so I can feel good about solving a cube on the canals of Amsterdam, and we're almost there. This is basically just slowly moving it it's getting it closer and closer and closer. That's why it may take many moves to get it where I want to go, but now, boom, and then with a boom, and with a boom, boom. Okay, so I owe you more. I definitely owe you more, but that is a method that I like to solve the cube. There's kind of 3 stages. One is that building and expansion, then there's that keyhole, and then the final stage, which took me a while to get, but I got it now, and this way. So I owe you some videos. Thanks for tuning in to the cubing on the Canal, honey roasted t-shirts. They don't sell t-shirts, but if they did, they'd definitely be honey roasted. Thanks guys. Talk to you later. Bye.